Good evening, racing fans, and welcome in for a Saturday night live racing action here at the Red Mile. I am Gabe Prewitt, and I am pleased to be joined tonight by our main man, resident extraordinary handicapper, Chuck Grubbs. Chuck, welcome. Another beautiful Saturday night here at the Red Mile.
Thank you for having me on. It's my pleasure.
And we've got 15 races for your wagering pleasure tonight. It's going to be a big 24 hours over here at the Red Mile, Chuck, because tomorrow we've got that 10-race Fayette Fest card. We've got 8 Kentucky Sire Stakes championships, a couple of consolations. So we've got plenty of action here for the fans over the next couple of days.
Yes, tomorrow I would suggest any harness racing fan come out and watch Green Shoe. He's one of the great trotters in our era.
And we've got a nice 3-year-old pacer that's going to be in action, going to be a big favorite tomorrow as well. Bettor's Wish. You got a lot of star power on that card. In terms of wagering, some good races. Again, even in terms of exotics, if some of those favorites do win, we could see some big payouts. And maybe best of all, Chuck, are you going to take a shot at the 20-cent pick 8? It covers all 8 of those Kentucky Sire Stakes championships. And it's a 20-cent minimum. It's a $10,000 guarantee. And, of course, it's a mandatory payout tomorrow. So it must pay whoever picks the most winners. You're going to be taking a swing at that?
Yeah, I took a swing at it last week at Northfield. Didn't do too well. Or Scioto, I'm sorry, the finals at Scioto, I took a shot. Didn't do so well, but it's a chance to make a nice score for 20 cents.
And I had 6 of 8 at Scioto, so you may have even done better than me. One ticket, by the way, 8 of 8 there at Scioto last week. I believe paid over $10,000. So it was a great wager. Last year here at the Red Mile, in fact, that 20-cent pick 8 that covered those 8 Kentucky Sire Stakes championships, one ticket, Chuck, 7 of 8. So you didn't even have to hit it last year. 7 of 8 winners took down an entire pool. So we're looking forward to that. That will start tomorrow afternoon here on that 3rd race. And again, note that special first post tomorrow at 3 p.m. So we're sort of testing out the equipment here tonight, Chuck, as we get prepared for tomorrow's action. We'll have plenty of guest interviews. You and I will be on for a pregame show to handicap that card. It's going to be a great day. And again, if you're in the area, come out and join us for Fayette Fest right here tomorrow afternoon with the first post, 3 p.m. We better get right to it, though, because we've got 15 on tonight's card, Chuck, and we're going to put you to the test here on this Saturday program. We begin with preferred trotters. We're subject to have a big favorite here in the 4-year-old bond.
Barn change about 5 or 6 starts back. Really woke this horse up. He's sharp as attack. He's got to beat the old campaigner, Pinkman.
Yeah, former Hamiltonian champion, Pinkman as well, a Kentucky Futurity winner, also now 7. Pinkman over $2.8 million. He typically does show up, but you said it, Eurobond's been so sharp. In fact, we're ice cold together there, Chuck, at the first race, 4-5-3 for you and I in race number 1. Second race kicks off at 50-cent pick 5 tonight. We're back with some overnight type pacers. Did you take a swing to beat the favorite here? He rocks the boom.
No, I didn't. I thought he woke up last time. I think, sharp horse, in form. I couldn't go against him. I went 1-3-2.
And I'm going to go with the same 3 numbers, just going to shuffle it slightly. I went to the 3 best trick ever. Thought he got caught in an impossible spot last time. Made up some ground late. I thought we may get a more aggressive steer there in the bank tonight from Randy D. Chrysler. So best trick ever. I think he may bounce back in that spot tonight, but the inside trio certainly do seem to stand out. We'll move on to the 3rd race. We've got a big favorite here, Chuck, in the 4 Syncopate, but he hasn't won a race in a couple of years. Now, in my opinion, the race office may have made him an offer here tonight he can't refuse. I think he's going to step up and get it done. What do you say here about the 8-5 morning line favorite?
Well, I took him. The only problem is he's only hit the exacta once out of his last 19 starts in the last 2 years. But those horses at Scioto that he faced back in August and July, just better horses than these.
And it is safe to say this is a now or never spot for Syncopate. If you can't get the job done in that class tonight, I'm just not sure I'm going to be able to endorse him moving forward, but he does seem to stand out in there. We've got our first stakes event, Chuck. In the 4th race, it's at Kentucky Sire Stakes Consolation, $50,000 on the line. Now, I'm not going to ask you who you like it here because I know who you're rooting for. You own him. It's the 5 Docs Hooligan. Tell us about him.
He's a nice horse. He's just not as good as the Bettor's Wishes and the ones in the final. These horses fit him a lot better. He should be close.
Okay, well, then I actually tried him to be second, so hopefully I don't want to completely jinx you and pick him to win. So Doc's Hooligan obviously coming off a good start there at Scioto. I'm assuming his trainer, Dan Noble's racing in Ohio tonight.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of his own in, and I told him to stay up there. He can make more money up there.
And you've got our leading driver in the bike tonight.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, Elliot, does a wonderful job. And I was going to shout out there to Aaron Merriman. I hope he's okay. He took a nasty fall last night at Northfield at the quarter pole. Hurt his wrist. I'm hoping he's driving tonight. Hope he's well.
Oh, wow, that's a big note there. We'll have to check that out on our changes here in a few moments as well. 5th race tonight, another Kentucky Sire Stakes consolation. This one for the 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Trotters. How'd you see things shaping up here?
I wrote wide open at the bottom of my program. I thought there were 6 horses that could win. I went with the 5, King Slayer. But like I said, I don't have any confidence in any horse in this race.
Yeah, I'm like you in this. So we're dealing with young green trotters just beginning their careers, sort of hot and cold. One week they'll be good, one week not so great. And I agree. Kingslayer, I thought was a horse that had some upside potential. He's bred well. He's a son of Father Patrick. He added trotting hobbles last time. I thought he did get a touch better. And as you said, it's just a wide open group. Certainly a leg of that pick 5 that you may want to take a swing and spread in, at least from my standpoint, there in race number 5. 6th race tonight. I have got a rooting interest here, so I won't be doing any picks. I'm calling to the 4 Quizzer. How'd you see things here in the 6th?
I went 7-9-4. I went with Chief Mate. I thought that, up at Woodbine racing against monster horses up there, I thought that he might find this a little easier, and I threw Quizzer in for 3rd for my guy Gabe here, hoping he can get a check like me tonight.
Rooting interest. I appreciate that. And Chief Mate, I know what he was training down. Son of Captain Treacherous, 4-trader Tony Alania, one of their the most highly regarded colts over the course of the winter, traded down at South Florida. So obviously that's a colt that probably is going to continue to improve there. Just his 6th career start tonight. Montrell Teague in town for the drive. 7th race going to kick off the first of 2 pick 4s tonight. Chuck, we've got this extended 15 race card. We've got a full field of 10. Who do you like to kick things off here in the pick 4 with race 7?
I went against something that I never do. I took a filly against the boys. I went with the 4, picking up Erin Merriman. She's racing against super nice fillies at Scioto. I thought that was a good price horse to kick the pick 4 off.
And she stepped up and raced very well here at her local debut last time. That was a good runner-up start, I thought. And as you said, Merriman in the bank tonight, that can't hurt things. I took a swing here with the 7, Uncle Si. Maybe not quite as sharp last time as what we saw him earlier in the meet, but still a solid effort there to be 5th, beating just a couple of lengths. I'm actually going to toss on a bomber to my pick 4 ticket as well, Chuck. How about the dime V Power? He bounced back at a good effort last week.
That horse can win if he races him the same way. I think he's been racing the horse hard on the front end all year. He ducked him last week, flew home. I think that's the way that horse wants to be raced.
Obviously from an outside post, maybe the pace scenario would have to set up for him, but that's a spread race for me to kick off the pick 4. I thought that was the most wide open leg of that sequence, because in the 8th race, I've got a single in this race, Chuck. The 4 Caviar Max, post 10 winner last time out, right down the road. Harley Emerson, the trainer. Drew Monty sticks here. I know you like him as well.
Yeah, I thought this race was 4, 6, 8, right at the bottom of the program. I like the 4 the best. Very, a lot of tactical speed. Should control the race.
Yeah, I agree in that matter. And again, just an easy win there last time. And he actually got off a nice price. He was the favorite last time, but he was 5-2. So very nice price there from post 10. Caviar Max gets some post relief tonight, and he's back in a very similar spot there, race 8 as well. 9th race, I'm on a single again here, Chuck. 7, Aldebaran Walkabout, who just completely destroyed a group of overnight trotters last time here when he added Lasix. Steps up slightly tonight, but I thought he was still much the best here. Maybe he does get a bit of a challenge, though, from the 2 Airman Kelly. I know he's your top choice.
Yeah, I was between the 2 and 7. This was a tough decision. I thought the 2 had been tackling tougher stake horses, Indiana breds up in Indiana. I went with the 2-7-4.
Okay, 2-7-4 for you, 7-2-4 for me. We move on to the 10th race here. We've got some lightly raced youngsters in this class for the most part. Not as a 1-race lifetime. And I really was impressed by the 5 6-day wars last time out, Chuck. I think you like them here as well. But that was a big-time improvement. A good third there. A very good pair of 2-year-olds that he finished close and behind there. So 6-day wars, he's been pretty consistent all season. Trainer Don Brock, 11-15 on the board. Tyler Sheehan back at the bike tonight. He's got some early speed as well.
Yeah, this horse was unbeatable in the fairs early. I think he got a little sick. The trainer, I talked to Don Brock, and I think this horse got a little sick. And if you see, he missed time from August 10th to September 1st. And I think he's come back good. I expect a big effort from him tonight.
And we know that some of these well-bred 2-year-olds, at least from terms of pari-mutuel wagering, Chuck, they always seem to get over-bet. So you've got a horse like 7, one more for the road, who obviously packs a powerful pedigree. It's her career debut tonight. She's a daughter of Captain Treacherous, $175,000 yearling purchase. But you know she's going to take just a ton of tote action there, which sometimes just drives you to a different horse.
Yeah, it worries me this horse is not making its pari-mutuel debut until September. Tells me that maybe she's had some issues. I went elsewhere. I went with the 3-year-old against the 2-year-old.
Okay, and I'm on board with you there as well. 11th race, preferred trot. Please tell me, or preferred pace rather, how we could possibly beat 6 Split the House. Yes, I know he hasn't raced here since the Grand Circuit last fall, but he's got a couple of qualifiers under his belt and really seems to stand out here in terms of class.
Yeah, the only way they beat him is if he don't show up. I mean, this is a super horse. I mean, he's obviously missed a year almost, but I off the qualifiers, I got to believe he's ready to pace in 49 or 50.
Yes, I agree there, and I'm not sure I've ever met a 1-9 I did not like, and I do like Split the House back in race 11 as well. Late pick 4 added to the docket tonight. That's race 12 with this extended card. A bit of a tricky sequence, I thought, late. I thought you could maybe make some noise with some upsets late in this sequence. I went to the Jim Brinson trading here in the 12th race, the 4 Kaboom Pow. Horses really came to life here late in the meet. That for a live barn, obviously, Brinson doing very well here locally. He's back in the same class, was second last out. Hooked a tough rival there last time, and I saw him first. I liked him back in this spot a bit better tonight. I was unsure what to do with the 3 Passadeus, who was claimed 2 starts back there, stepped up, raced okay. He's back in for the $4,000, or at least the same class he was claimed out of.
I thought the 3 and 4 were the horses and would get bet, but I thought it was a wide open race. The 5's finally sneaking into a closer post. I like Jamal Denson. He's a good driver. He can get a horse to go. I took a shot on a 5. I think this is a race you spread in.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it could be a race that could be wide open, especially we don't really know. We're not quite sure how that 3 Passadeus is going to bounce back at his second try for the new barn, and he is likely to get a lot of tote action there to start that late pick 4 in race number 12. On to the 13th race tonight. We've got a couple here that are going to draw most of the attention, and I did go to the 4. I saw him first this spot, Chuck. This guy, you know, we hadn't seen him in a long time until recently. Razor sharp right now. His trainer, Zach Tackett, in the bike here last week for a winning effort. He puts Pete Ritt up tonight. Seems like a horse trending in the right direction.
Yeah, that last quarter was legit. He was pacing strong through the wire. He looks like the speed in here. I thought he was a wire-to-wire winner.
And I agree. I saw him first for me. Maybe a single there in that late pick 4 sequence. On to the 14th race. We've got some 2-year-old trotters that are going to be in action here. How impressive was the 7 Sweet Shirley May when we saw her in action here last week?
Very beautifully gated. I was, you know, she showed all those breaks. I was concerned, but she looks like she really likes this surface.
Yes, I agree. Looks tough to get around her. And we're both on the inside pair there underneath. I went to 7-2-1. You're 7-1-2. A couple of fillies there that have shown they have some talent as well.
Yes, the one was really good the last 2 starts. She figures to be forwardly placed, maybe on top or right in the 2-hole behind the 7.
Okay, on to the 15th and final. And yes, we will still be in wagering action that late at night here. In the 15th race, we've got super high 5 wagering. And who'd you like here in the nightcap?
I went with the 2, but this is a tough race. I struggled with it. I landed on the 2. The 1 and 2 both got excellent gate speed. I thought they would be forwardly placed. I went 2-1-6, but by no means do I love my selection.
You know, one thing we have seen in the last race over the course of the meet, we've seen some giant payouts in that super high 5.
Yes, and this race could set up for one. If there's a speed duel, I could see 1 of 7 horses winning this race. I was really torn on this race.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm actually going to try a bit of a sleeper. It's the horse you chose for third. It's a 6 Armani Code, who did ship down, try one spin around that Fayetteville Fair, but he's back here at the Red Mile. He's done okay here. At times he's been pretty sharp. He draws a mid-pack post here, typically likes to close. I thought if maybe driver Jeremy Bobbitt could work him up a cover flow type journey, who knows, maybe you could spring an upset in the nightcap. So that's a look at our 15 race Saturday night card. We're happy to have you on board with us. Now, Chuck, one of the biggest questions of the night, your Buckeyes, they've already taken care of business. They beat the Indiana Hoosiers. That's a cause we can all get behind here in Lexington as well. So well done to the Buckeyes. What about the Cats tonight? About a 10-point underdog with Florida in town.
Well, you know, it's always scary when your backup quarterback's first starts against a very aggressive defense. So if he keeps the turnovers to 0 or 1, I think they have a big shot. If he turns the ball over 3 or 4 times, it could be a blowout.
Okay, well, that's we'll see what happens. It could be interesting. That kicks off at 7. We'll keep you posted on that score as that game moves through. And again, most importantly, remember, we are back in action here tomorrow. Fayette Fest, 10 races, $2.1 million in purses. First race tomorrow afternoon is at 3 o'clock. The Parade of Breeds gets underway at 2 p.m., so come out and join us for a great day of family-friendly, fun activities. I'm Gabe Prewitt, Chuck Grubbs alongside here. 11 minutes from the Saturday opener. Best of luck here tonight.